Hi everybody, and welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude and the viewer's choice build number 2, the Eduard MiG 21 PFM, part number 8. So left off last time with all the paint and all that business and getting ready to do the stencils. The stencils are now complete. So now that the stencils are complete, it's time for the rest of the decals. Now, if you'll remember, I am doing Scheme B, Czechoslovak Air Force 11th Fighter Regiment, Zatek Air Force Base, March 1991. And went with this one because I like the little sharky mouth, and I just like the whole thing, the crest. I just like it all, so that's what I'm doing. So what I need to do is I need to start working on the decals. I also have a couple of detail parts to paint here. Looks like a red and a blue. I already got that done. I need to paint these little things here and here. So I also need to glue this part on. I haven't glued it on yet. I was waiting till after I got the metal finish on, so I need to put that in place, and that's pretty much it. I've already got that painted green and that painted green, so that's done. So pretty much a few little detail paint things, and then the actual aircraft specific decals. Quick little note about the decals in this kit. They're marked Eduard 2013, printed by Cartograph, made in Italy. I have to say that these decals are really nice. The decal film is super thin, so even without putting a clear coat or anything on there, you can barely detect the decal film. So once I get it clear coated, after all the decals and all the final painting is done, you're not going to be able to tell very much where the decal film is. So again, really nice decals. I wish everybody would use decals this thin, but unfortunately that's not the case. So anyway, I just put some Solvaset on some of these, the last of the decals, which was the upper surface. So once those are dry, then I can start working on these decals here. Okay, fast forward a bit, and I have completed all of the decals. As I mentioned in the previous segment there, the decals look really good, and the carrier film on these is super thin, and the decals go down really good. What I did to install them, to apply them I should say, is I used this Mark Fit decal solution, and that's mainly just to put some a wet surface for the decal to go on, and then using a Q-tip I would just roll the excess out from underneath, let it dry a little bit, and then apply some Solvaset, and it worked like a champ. Combination of good decals, whoops, sorry, bumped the camera, and Solvaset, definitely a recipe for awesomeness. As you can see by this right here, it looks like a painted on stripe. That's a decal, and it just turned out really good. So did that. I glued this ring on here. I finished gluing on the parts that needed to be glued on. The only parts I have not glued on are the landing gear and landing gear doors. I did glue the front landing gear doors on, but I didn't glue the rear or the main landing gear on because I had to paint the actuators, and yes, they are on the sprue, but when I cut them off and I touch them up, it'll be easy to touch them up, and that side won't be exposed anyway where the sprue gate is. So yeah, I'm a little bit lazy, but I wanted to get it painted the gray and the silver all at once without having to wait for any of it to dry. So once I got those parts put on, and after the decals, I put the missiles in place on the pylons, and then I sprayed the whole thing in Future. And yes, I use Future a lot of times for clear coats, but the reason being is it's really super thin and it's good for weathering, which is the next part I have started, as you can see from that wing right there. Okay, so I already did the tail portions there, and I'm using Ultimate Weather Wash Dark Dirt. And what I did is I just put it all on there, and then taking the Q-tip, it wipes off nice and easy, and I just do it in the direction of airflow like that. Gives it just a little tiny bit of a streaking effect. Ooh, excuse me, sneezed. Okay, and just it wipes off like that, leaves a nice deposit in all those rivets and all those panel lines and all the other surface detail, just like that. Now that little spot right there, I'm going to get that with a Q-tip. I can wipe that off with the Q-tip. It's where I think my decal solvent had puddled up on the decal and I didn't catch it, but it washes off easily. I've had the same thing happen before. But as you can see, it does a really nice job of giving a nice dirty surface. And Lord knows, the photos I've seen of this aircraft, they were generally pretty stinking dirty. So I went with that. Alright, so I'm going to work on this for a little bit. Once I do that, I can put the landing gear in place and then start thinking about wrapping this project up. Alright, as you can see, I've got more of the bottom covered with the clay wash, and so I just need to do the bottom and do the upper surfaces and then glue the landing gear and such on. So I'm going to call this video quits right here, because basically, with the exception of getting the rest of this put on, those few parts glued on and everything wiped down, this kit is essentially completed. So the next video that I post will be the final reveal of the MiG-21 PFM by Eduard. So as always, thanks for watching on Plastic Models by a Regular Dude and the Viewer's Choice build series. And if you have any questions or comments, anything like that, please put them in the comments section below, and I'll respond as quickly as I can. And as I said early on, I apologize for the kind of rapid fire paint slash decal slash weathering deal, but that's just the way it works out whenever I do these videos. So maybe in the future I can get a better way of, doing video with that as well. But until then, this is the way it's gonna have to be. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for joining me here, and I will see you all next time.